Big story today. I don't know if you caught this, but thousands of customers' funds went missing at Wells Fargo.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was the big story earlier today. And obviously customers are hoping that they get their money back. But again, the proof is in the pudding. This is something that I've actually warned about. That there's going to be problems at the major banks and the major financial institutions, like we've seen recently, and I've warned about. I warned a year in advance that there would be bank runs in the United States, and we had Silvergate go down. We had the behemoth at Credit Suisse go down overseas. We had Silicon Valley. We had First Republic, and that list is going to grow. I mean, if you go to the FDIC Gov right now, you'll see a dozen banks that have bitten the dust in recent months. And now this critical fatal error at Wells Fargo, and this is breaking across all the mainstream media, customers didn't get their direct deposit and they couldn't pay their bills. So I don't know what the issue is, if it's some kind of like internal internet issue. But this also raises a lot of people's concerns because they've been warning for some time about cyber events and cyber attacks. Now the primary ethos, of course, of Island Project and what we're doing with our fractional real estate portfolio, a $33.5 million portfolio out here in beautiful Oahu and also Maui, is this: get your money out of the banks. In fact, that's one of the main reasons I think people have invested with us, in addition to buying a great asset with income and cash flows. You get a W-9 at the end of the year, huge capital appreciation potential, and we're the first company in the world to have ever successfully fractionalized the best real estate, which includes beach and oceanfront. There's never been another opportunity for just $30,000 that you could own the best piece of real estate in the world. It's huge.
It's huge. It's huge. You've heard us say it before, but we're democratizing true fractional ownership. Nobody's doing this. In a way, we're kind of the anti-BlackRock. We've talked about it for a long time. We're really the good guys, and that's kind of our motto is make it great, be the good guys. So for a minimum $30,000, you can join our investment fund. We take the money, we buy property, we don't use any bank debt, so anybody that invests with us has 100% equity based on their fractional interest, and can realize the appreciation, can realize the income. We're going to marry it with tokenization, and we're going to have a big event. So, instead of BlackRock and these guys buying up all the real estate in the world and wanting to rent it back to us, in a small way, we're fighting that with the Island Project.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it really clicks for people, it's like a light bulb goes off. We were having lunch yesterday, and the bartender we were discussing real estate. She was talking about they can't afford anything here locally, that just the prices keep going up, and people are moving off the island. And so she was asking me what we did, and I told her about Island Project. She says, that's a great idea. You're telling me that I can actually own not just real estate, but the best real estate, get a piece of the rock, get my money out of the banks, and you guys don't have debt either. So it's solving a real world problem, and that's why I call this the Robin Hood of the best real estate in the world, because this is going to get worse. I mean, if people don't take action and they're not working together, what happens is your entire town, state, or city is owned by BlackRock. Like, that's the alternative. Wall Street's buying everything, and especially with this new technology, now that fractional ownership is going mainstream, which we're the first to onboard this with our membership, that's going to change the dynamic of real estate as well. So there's going to be hundreds of companies, and you're going to be hearing about this in the future. They're already doing it in multiple states, fractional ownership. So that changes the ownership model of the future, creates a lot more liquidity that's never been there before, which in my eyes tells me, again, there's only going to be inflation. I mean, this has been the common trend our whole lifetime. You buy the dip, even though it seems like a scam. 2008-09, what should have everyone done? Bought as much real estate as you possibly could. What should have you done in 2020? And I even said this personally, it was counterintuitive, but bet on the scam up. Real estate tripled. It went straight up. So, these people are smart, and they're manipulating the financial system through central bank policy, which we don't like, and they're printing enormous amounts of debt. When you bring that type of money supply into the market, there's nowhere for anything to go but up. And so it's basically scared money and smart money buying up all the real assets to get out of the banking system before the financial reset, too. The biggest story in the world right now that you guys keep hearing and people are talking about is the global reset, the new normal, CBDCs. We're moving to digital currencies. Everybody knows that crypto and blockchain is the future. Now, I was even talking to a gentleman downstairs. He said his friend that used to work here bought a bunch of Bitcoin several years ago. I'm like, well, does he still work here? He's like, no, he owns a bunch of real estate. I mean, that's literally what he told me. So it's a diversification tool, and this is why we urge you, and my father's talked about this as well, bring your retirement accounts over. Why would you have your IRA or your retirement account in a system that you believe is going to fail? If they're resetting the system to a new system, why would you let Wells Fargo send you a notice that your funds are gone? Because they're going to have an excuse. There's going to be some kind of excuse in the future why. They'll blame it on a cyber attack or they'll blame it on another event. While at the same time they declare some kind of capital controls in America. And I believe this is going to happen. I'm not the only person that's warned about this. Ray Dalio, Bridgewater and Associates, the billionaire. I'm not saying I necessarily like Ray. He puts out some decent content. We don't know him. He's warned of the same thing. Like, it's not just us. It's everybody in a position of strength and power. And it's the guys with the big money saying, yeah, I'd get your money out of the banks now. And so the common ethos here is, number one, for freedom and liberty, to give options to the people in Robinhood form, where you can actually own a real asset that's privately owned by you. You're in control. You have the keys. You own the Lamborghini of real estate. We were looking at amazing properties yesterday, penthouses here in Oahu. What do you think's going to appreciate more? Beachfront or cash, which is trash in a bank? So you're really missing out. If you're not making 10% a year on your money, I think you're losing money. I think inflation's at least 20% probably. Real inflation might be 30%.
Yeah,
Food prices are up.
It's more than the number that we get fed. That's for sure. But we're doing great things with the Island Project. Chris has offered a solution to a problem, and it's a way that we can fight the system. And really, we're building this great community with people that believe in what we believe in, liberty and freedom and controlling your own destiny and building a community of like-minded investors. So if you feel the same way, you're welcome to join us. And we are doing great things. And one of the reasons we're together is we are ready to purchase Island Project property number 2. Just an update to our current investors. We've had an offer in. We just haven't been able to get home on it. But we've got 3 or 4 properties that we're targeting over here. So for all of our current investors, expect an announcement soon. And I know you're going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're opening up property towards the end of the year, also for member investors to come visit. Island Project's this great community. It really is our strength, is the people. We're really unstoppable. We're the winning team. And so I always say, vote with your wallet, march with your feet. If you don't like the direction that the world is going, stand up for yourself. Do something good. I mean, what we've built with Island Project is what built America. And the Cowboys are out, conquering the West, or, great companies in Fortune 100 were started and now they're worth $1 trillion. Yeah. You've got to start somewhere. And so I just encourage you that what's happening in the world, number one, I don't like the direction of it. There's a lot of problems right now, and I think it's going to get a lot worse for people that aren't focused on actual, real solutions. So how do they roll over retirement accounts? Because, that's the number one thing that people have been asking me recently. Well, can I just roll over my IRA? Can you explain how they can do that? Because it's a perfect opportunity to do that now and do it before you get a bank notice from Bank of America or Wells Fargo, like happened today, that, whoops, we don't know where your money went and there's restrictions on your account. I mean, I think that they're even going to censor, as many of you are well aware, based on your political views. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future, if you voted Republican or you're a Christian, maybe they just don't let you have a bank account. I mean, honestly, Nigel Farage overseas came out yesterday and said that's happening overseas already. And all these big banks are woke too.
Well, you've seen it. Well, yeah, and that's back to BlackRock and ESG and all the rest, and we can go on and on about that. But Chris mentioned the rolling over some of your IRA money. I mean, we can assist with that. Originally, when we got started with the Island Project, and you can invest in any way. We take crypto, you can invest through our investor portal. But if you have IRA money, there is a process. If you want to take a portion of that, diversify, put it with the Island Project, be part of the great things that we're doing, then I want you to call me at 808-442-2934, and I'll help you with the process. But by and large, you're going to move them money. You're going to move current money over to a company called Preferred Trust or Equity Trust. They're allowed to invest in private offerings, and they'll handle all the mechanics of doing that so that your IRA is protected and you don't incur any tax penalties or anything like that. So, and now we have, I'd say, we've got 40 to 50% of the money that's coming into the Island Project is IRA money. Typically what we see is our investors come in with 30, or they come in with 100, or they come in with 200. And after they really see what we're doing, then they double up on that or triple up on that in some cases. But also remember, when you're buying the Island Project, we're a capital raise. We take the capital, we invest it in marquee Hawaii real estate. We don't use any bank debt. You're going to get the appreciation from the properties, operating income. We're marrying that with future tokenization. We're the first in the world to do it, and we're the first in the world to do it our way. Also, you're going to be able to reach out and touch and use the property portfolio to some extent. Our primary purpose is buy great properties. We want appreciation. We deliver operating income. We are going to mark some time for all of our investors so that you can, it's a private offering, but you're a true fractional owner. You can actually come out, see Oahu, use the property, use the flagship property in Maui. So nobody's doing what we're doing. Entirely unique, and it would be great if you could be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's essentially, obviously we can't give financial advice, read our terms and disclaimers, but it's essentially riskless. Like, look at the actual investment. You own the best real estate in the world. It's true ownership. It's private ownership. What do you have to lose? There's no bank debt. You own the best property in the world. You get paid pro rata, the units you own, income at the end of the year through gross rents. Then it's tokenized. So in addition to that, the big event is the tokenization my father just described. No one else in the world is doing that. You're going to hear about fractional ownership of real estate, but married with tokenization also gives you that 1000x upside. So truly a $30,000 investment. We have investors with hundreds of thousands, $1 million+ with us at islandproject.com. 30,000, if the tokenization just goes 30x, you're a millionaire. It's really not that hard. I mean, hundreds, thousands of cryptos go 30, 50x every single day, and they're not backed by anything. Our portfolio and our crypto, when we tokenize, which all of our founders are the only founders that get in, and there's no dilution, is backed by a real asset. Like, you do understand that. Like, it's a critical point of the portfolio. It's a real proof of concept in a real tangible asset. So what is that asset going to be worth? I believe it's going to be worth $1 billion+, billions of dollars in the future. And so when you really look at this, you see the scale and how this just explodes like a wildfire for freedom and prosperity for all of you tuning in. And again, it's a way you can march with your feet and actually politically activate and motivate yourself to change the world in a positive way. Everyone keeps asking me, where's the solution? Where's the good men fighting back? Where are the cowboys? You're looking at them right here. This is what we do every single day, along with our members. They're the cowboys, they're the cowgirls. I mean, look at Texas, man. Look at the great state of Texas. We got more investors from Texas than almost any other state.
We've got a ton from Texas. I looked at it the other day. We've got, looked at our most recent reconciliation. We've got investors from 27 states right now in the United States and 7 countries. Okay, so we have a lot, as far as the countries go, we have a lot of Canadians, we have a lot of Australians, we've got folks from Thailand. We just brought somebody in from American Samoa, from Pago Pago.
That's cool.
So they're from the world: Germany, United Kingdom, Austria, Italy. So we have Europe. And then as far as states go, we're pretty well diversified throughout the United States. We have a lot of people from New York, New Jersey. We got people from Florida, the Midwest. A lot of great investors from the Midwest. And of course, some of our first investors that came in were from the Bay Area in California. So if you're a like-minded investor, you believe in what we believe in, this is a great spot for you. And Christopher talked about kind of a riskless investment. I want you to know we business planned this for 3 years, trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this, what the minimum investment would be, how big the portfolio would be. And it took a long time for us to kind of fine tune that, right?
Yeah.
And get that down. But at the front end of your investment, just remember, we take the capital, we're investing the capital in marquee Hawaii real estate, there's no bank debt. So at the front end of your investment, you've got 100% equity based on your fractional interest in the island project. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no catches to it.
Yeah.
So
There's no annual fees or anything like that. I mean, the whole thing is turnkey. One of the common problems that I saw over the last 10 years being in crypto is a lot of people just, don't understand, where it's very difficult to learn crypto and how to open up a wallet and, hold your own keys and protect your investment. The beauty of what we're doing is it's professionally managed by us. And that's really where my expertise is on the tech side. And we've got the real estate side. We're doing all of this for you as professional managers. So it's a turnkey investment with really no downside. But again, I don't think people realize too that there's millions of people all over the world that are also not going along with this new system. Like the system that they're building, this one world order, or whatever you want to describe it, there's millions of people just like us and just like you tuning in that are saying, you know what, no, we're going to do something positive and proactive, and we're going to start and build our own arts, which is why I've called it the digital Noah's Ark. So it's a fantastic world-class investment, best property in the world. It's fun and it's an ecosystem. I've said this many times before, but you can go rent an Airbnb and spend $1,000 a night. You don't own anything and you never get that back. With Island Project, you actually own where you're staying. So you can actually stay at your actual investment and go, I own this. And then you get a check at the end of the year with your W-9 and your paid income. That's really, really cool. I mean, it wouldn't even surprise me if some of these big companies start moving that direction probably like 10 years from now when they figure out what we've done.
Yeah, but you know
like
what?
What's the point of spending that empty money that you don't get in return?
But our idea is a little bit boutique from the standpoint, I don't think big companies are going to want to do what we're doing because we've democratized it. Okay? It's for all of us. It's not just for some of us. So it kind of goes back to what George Carlin said in speaking to the government. There's a club and we're not in it. Okay? Well, we're creating our own club. So that's what we're doing with the Island Project. And we've democratized it, truly democratized true fractional ownership. I don't think the big guys would want to do what we're doing.
No, I don't think they can.
And give the personal touch. They want to make all the money. Okay, we've democratized this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we love you guys. We'll end it there. Again, give us a call at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. You can call or text. If you have any questions about rolling over your IRA, retirement accounts, reach out. You can also go directly to our portal at islandproject.com. That's islandproject.com. Click the members tab. There's a 5-minute app. There's a 30 unit or 30K minimum. Come in with more, come in with 100K. And I also encourage, for those of you out there that are already members, DCA into the project, because once the funding round closes at the 33.5 million, we can't issue any more units. So get in. We've got beautiful people from all over the world taking action, buying the best investment we believe in the world at islandproject.com. And we're fighting back for truth, for liberty, for justice, and for hope for the future. And we're standing our ground. Do not comply. 1000x yourself. And we love you.
All right, everybody.